The X-Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Soul. You're a big boy now and you'll never let her go. But that's just the kind of thing she ought to know. Tell her.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell, coming to you from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free 1-800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. This coming February 2012, I'll be the Master of Ceremonies for the Body, Soul, Spirit Expo in Toronto, Ontario. It's going to be held at the International Centre, 6900 Airport Road in Mississauga, which is right across the road from Pearson International Airport. If you'd like more information as an exhibitor or more information as a visitor, visit www.bodysoulspiritexpo.com. Tom T. Moore is my guest this hour. He's the author of The Gentle Way and an entertainment industry CEO who distributes motion pictures and TV programs internationally. Now, he brings a knowledge of how requesting benevolent outcomes can be used both in business affairs and one's personal life. He also communicates with his own guardian angel and other benevolent beings in his active meditations, and has asked thousands of questions about the universe and our world, all published each week in his newsletter. A native of Dallas, Texas, he is a graduate of the Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas, and has served in the U.S. Army as a first lieutenant. He's married, has 2 children. His books, The Gentle Way, a self-help guide for those who believe in angels, and The Gentle Way 2, The Story Continues, are available at his website at www.thegentleWaybook.com. And Tom, welcome back to the X-Zone.
Thank you, Rob, and hello to everyone out there.
Tom, angels. Everybody talks about angels. It seems that no matter who you talk to, no matter what part of the world you're in, what religious theology that these people are in, they all talk about angels or spiritual beings. Are angels becoming more and more popular as we get ready to enter the new age after the 21st of December 2012?
Probably a little bit. I know 75 to 80% of the people that have been polled, I think in a Gallup poll or something, believe in angels. Mm-hmm. Then after you get that, it really becomes scattered because people have many different ideas of what angels are. And so there you go.
How did you first contact your guardian angel?
Oh, well, it was in meditation. And I should back up. I had been actually talking to my guardian angel and requesting benevolent outcomes in my life, and I've been doing that for years, and it worked perfectly. I absolutely knew from the results of requesting benevolent outcomes for specific events in my life that there was this benevolent being that was assisting me. And that was great because, we all need assistance, and it's like having your best friend at your back, so to speak. I got your back, buddy, and your guardian angel has your back. So they will joyfully assist you even in the little mundane things of life, but you've got to ask. And so I've been doing that for quite a long time and had actually written some articles on it that have been well received and all. And I started learning to do what I call an active meditation, where I was able to go into an alpha state, not the more deep theta state, but the alpha state, and I was able to ask questions and start receiving answers.
Tom, stand by. You and I have to take our first 2-minute commercial break. Exonation Tom T. Moore is our special guest. www.thegentleWayBook.com. We'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X Zone from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
You're a big boy now and you'll never let her go. That's just the kind of thing she ought to know. Tell her about it. Tell her everything you feel.
I was walking home from school on a cold winter day. Took a shortcut through the woods, and I lost my way. It was getting late, and I was scared and alone. But then a kind old man took my hand and led me home. Now Mama couldn't see him, oh, but he was standing there. And I knew in my heart he was the answer to my prayers. Oh, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with the light of love.
Exxon Nation, our guest is Tom T. Moore. We're talking about angels this hour. Tom's website is thegentleWayBook.com. And Tom, how do you describe angels?
Well, Theo, my guardian angel, describes himself as, and I had to press him on this for him to tell me, but he's a golden light being. And guardian angels, he said that when he applied for the job, so to speak, the job application said only golden light beings need apply. And that's because guardian angels have to be extremely powerful, very knowledgeable beings and souls. They're whole souls, but they've been around so long that they emanate a gold light. And he's able to handle thousands of souls at the same time. You don't just have one guardian angel for you and another guardian angel for someone else. I mean, they handle thousands of souls all at the same time, and in all your lives, which are going on at the same time.
How do they delegate which person they should help at which time? For example, if there were two life-threatening occurrences happening at the very same time, how do they handle both these at the same time?
Oh, it's no problem.
Really?
These are extremely powerful beings. I use the analogy for third-dimensional purposes that my guardian angel Theo could handle 2 million requests for a parking spot at the same time and not break a sweat. I mean, that's how powerful they are. They're really amazing beings.
Where do angels come from, Tom?
Well, this may get into a couple of things that will be surprising to some people, but most of our guardian angels, as an example, come from other creators. Theo was created by another creator, and he was attracted by the work that our creator was doing with this universe, which was completely unique in all of the billions of universes out there. This one was completely different, and so he volunteered for the job.
Are angels born? Do they evolve, or?
Theo was birthed by another creator, so it's like another creator split off a little bit of itself and created this soul that is my guardian angel. And I call him Theo. Theo's not his real name. He said, we don't have vocal cords that can pronounce angelic names. And so he said, you can call me Tom, Dick, or Harry, Tom, but he said, Tom might be a little difficult in your meditations. And he said that with humor. So I thought about it for a while, and I was inspired just to call him Theo. So if someone wants to, use a name to call their own guardian angel, you just say out loud, what should I call you, guardian angel? And let the answer come to you. It may come to you immediately, or it may take a few days, but you'll get a name that you can call your guardian angel.
Having heard you say that Theo was created by another creator, makes me want to ask you the question, well, if there is more than one creator, that means there's more than one God. Why is it that in our religious philosophies that the greater majority of the populace of this planet have heard of, there's only one God?
Well, because you have to understand, religions were written by humans, okay? And humans, at the time period that all of these religions were being born, so to speak, most of the people were illiterate. In fact, the whole population virtually was illiterate, if I could say that word. And so they had to keep it simple, the KISS principle.
Right.
Most religions have esoteric things that go on that they don't give to the general public, that are for supposedly just the elite or the the higher bishops or whatever they happen to be called in their church.
But if religion is based on honesty and sincerity by keeping certain things away from the parishioners, isn't that being a little bit hypocritical? Well,
I leave that to your opinion, because keep in mind when Christianity was formed, if you really read the history of it, there were a lot of things that were done in order to get the pagans to cross over to Christianity. That included, Jesus was not born December 25th. That was right. A pagan holiday. They just picked that in order to get a whole bunch of pagans to switch over.
It was a massive marketing campaign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was. A Christmas tree, that was a pagan tradition. Gifts were a pagan tradition.
The Yule log.
All these things that we have at Christmas time originally started out as pagan celebrations.
I often wonder what would happen if the truth came out about what really is behind creation. How it would affect the world. Is the world at the point where we would accept it with open arms and say, finally, it all makes sense? Or would we want to live in the darkness that is surrounding modern-day theology?
I think a lot of people feel comfortable just following the old ways, the old religions and everything. I really think it would be very scary and very fearful. And what's going to happen that's going to change that, and it's going to make a lot of people fearful, will be, I've been told in meditation that we're going to finally have extraterrestrials make public contact, and it'll be done in Europe in 2015. Okay, and suddenly all these religions that think that the world is only 6,000 or 7,000 years old are going to have to face a lot of facts, and they're going to have to face that there are billions of other beings on other planets and so on across the universe, and that's going to be quite a tumultuous time.
Is there a connection, Tom, between extraterrestrials and angels?
Well, they have their own guides and all too, just not to the extent that we do. I've asked Theo about this before, and he said because humans have our souls have have volunteered to be veiled during our experiences on Earth. We require a lot more help than, say, a society in the Pleiades or in the Sirius B star system. They know who they are. They know where they came from. They live 1,000 or 1,400 years or whatever it happens to be, and they don't have the decisions that we have to make on a daily basis. They might not have to do in a whole year. So we are the kings of having to make decisions and all. And the reason, our end goal of our souls, I've been told, is that all of our souls are going to meld together thousands of years from now, and we're going to take over running this universe, which has never been done in any of the other billions of universes, and allow our Creator to go to a higher level, to whatever that may be for him.
It sounds as if we on planets and through the star systems are actually cells and the molecular buildup of our Creator.
I guess that's one way of looking at it. We're, I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
What is our ultimate mission on this planet?
Our ultimate mission is to learn to make decisions that we'll be able to use when we eventually run the universe. We have to be able to learn to make all the decisions. And our Creator believes that by being veiled and relearning all of these things that these other societies, that are a couple of million years old or more, have learned, we're going to learn to do things better than they have. And we're already, we work with negative energy, and no one in any universe has ever been able to work with the negative energy that we work with. And eventually, when we go to the stars, we're going to introduce minuscule amounts of negative energy. They don't even play games on other planets because that requires negative energy. And we're going to teach them games and simple things like that use 0.5 to 2% negative energy.
Stand by. You and I have to take our our break with the news. Final break, yeah. We're going to be taking our news break. Stand by, Tom. We'll be back on the other side. Exonation. Our guest this hour is Tom T. Moore. His website is www.thegentleWayBook.com. My name's Rob McConnell. This is The X Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. We'll both be back. Don't go away.
A shortcut through the woods, and I lost my way. It was getting late, and I was scared and alone. But then a kind old man took my hand and led me home. Now Mama couldn't see him, oh, but he was standing there.
You're listening to the X Zone Radio Show, live and around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network, X Zone Broadcast Network, UK High Definition Radio, Euro High Definition Radio, and Star Cable. Our toll-free telephone number worldwide is 1-800-610-7035. Our email address, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com.
I wish I could carry your smile in my heart. I need a sign to let me know you're here. All of these lines are being crossed over the atmosphere. I need to know that things are gonna look up, 'cause I feel us drowning in the sea spilled from a cup. And there is no place safe and no safe place to put my head when you can feel the world shake from the words that I said. And I call it all angels. And I call it all you angels.
Welcome back, everyone. Tom T. Moore is our special guest, www.thegentlewaybook.com. Tom has two books, The Gentle Way, a self-help guide for those who believe in angels, and The Gentle Way 2, The Story Continues. What do angels look like? What does your angel look like?
I have no idea. I just know that he's an energy being, and they're not in human form. They don't have wings. They're just he's an energy being that emanates go light.
Wow.
That's as close as I can get.
How can your books, Tom, help people in their daily lives?
Well, because I reduce the stress, reduce the fear, and I say this very, very simple spiritual tool that I was inspired to do. You say, I request a most benevolent outcome for whatever it is, a parking spot, your drive to work, a business meeting, an email blast, whatever it happens to be, the perfect mate, the perfect home, the perfect job, and then you say thank you. Any of those things you can request a benevolent outcome for, and obviously the big things are going to take a while. And Theo says, humans are very impatient.
Yes.
But and we are. That's why I recommend doing the mundane things like the parking spots and getting on a seat on a busy subway or a train or whatever method you use to go to work, so that you can start testing this out and you see that it works and you start getting immediate feedback, because the bigger things like the jobs and the mates and all can take months or a year or two.
I would imagine as well, Tom, you have to do your share in making these things happen.
Well, I mean, you can't you can't hibernate in your house and say, well, I'm going to expect, the mate of my life to come knocking on my door. You've got to get out there. You have to listen to this whisper in your ear. I mean, your guardian angel and your guides, which we haven't gotten into, but your guardian angel will whisper in your ear all the time. And if you hear something, well, gosh, I probably need to go to the grocery store today, and you're walking down the aisle, and lo and behold, you meet someone. Or, it's as simple as that. You've got to listen after you request these benevolent outcomes.
What is the difference, Tom, between an angel and a guide?
Guides, for the most part, are part of your soul cluster,
okay,
or they have had lives that are in your field of expertise. As an example, my two main guides are in my soul cluster, and Theo says we have 6 to 12 fragments of our soul in our soul cluster having lives on Earth. And then after that, when I used to own an international wholesale tour company, I had 2 guides that were very experienced in tours. When I got into the international film distribution business, I have a couple of guides that help me there. And now that I'm writing and speaking and all, I have a couple of guides that help me with my writing and so on. So you have a number of guides that, whatever you're involved in, if you're doing a very easy life, you know, sort of like taking a vacation from a hard one or something, then you might only have really a couple or 3.
According to what you know from Theo and your guides, how many times do we live this existence?
He tells me that most soul fragments will have 600 to 800 lives on Earth. And when I asked him why such a big range, he said souls have their own likes and or their own interests. It's like one soul having interest in art and another soul having an interest in science. And so some of the souls want to get these lives over with very fast. So you'll have your almost drama queens. You'll have friends that it seems like something is happening to them all the time in their life. And maybe it's because their soul wants to get these lives over with quickly. And others say, well, I'm going to take my time, and so they'll stretch it out to 800 or so.
So between these 600 to 800 lives, do we take a rest? Do we have a chance to reflect on the existence that we just came from?
Sure, but keep in mind, there's no time on the other side. So the time that you rest, it can be like a moment in time to us, and then you're off for your next adventure. And it may not be on the Earth. I mean, my next life, I've been told, will be back on the planet that I originally came from in the Sirius B star system, which is a water planet. So I'm supposed to go there next, and then after that, my next life on Earth is going to be in around 3400, and I'm going to be a female space pilot of one of the 17 Earth starships.
Wow. So, how does that make you feel, knowing what lies ahead for you in your lives to come?
I guess I've been given a little more peek on it because supposedly I'm one of only 10 people in the world that have had over 1,000 lives. And when I said, gosh, I must be a slow learner, I was told, no, you like to come back and push people along. And so, I mean, I even know the life after that. After the 3400, I go back in time to 2600 and get people prepared to go to the stars. And, you know, and then I have another life after that, that I already know about. So it's, you know, it's curiosity. One of the nice things that you can do in meditation when you start meditating and asking your guardian angel questions is you can ask them things like that. So I did.
People who have past life regression done, do they tell the real past life, or are they just talking about things that they've learned about in this lifetime, or do they actually get to go back in time and relate the information that they've already lived through?
The Akashic records, as they're called, are available. I mean, I know one lady, her name is Lois J. Wetzel, and she's able, she lives down in Houston, and she's able to put her hands underneath someone's head and immediately give detailed information about one life after another. So, I mean, that's one way of doing it. And then doing it under hypnosis is another, and that's the most common way where most people will visit their past lives by going under hypnosis. And you can get so many details that are that you would never know in this life. Things that you know were so mundane in those lives, people didn't even write about them or talk. You know, I mean, the history of lives, it was deemed so insignificant that nobody wrote about it.
How does your first book differ from your second book?
The first book goes into detail about requesting benevolent outcomes, and then for other people, you have to do what I now call benevolent prayers. In my first book, I called it living prayer, and that didn't quite do it. I worked on it. So in the first book, it goes into detail about all different ways to request benevolent outcomes. In the second book, I started receiving so many stories from all over the world from people that were putting this little simple spiritual tool into use, and were having fantastic results, that I wound up having a book that was twice as big as the first book, with story after story of people, what they requested. Many of them I never thought to request myself. They were really get into really unique stuff, and then I arranged the second book in chapters. So one chapter would be on cars, and one chapter would be on medical, and one chapter would be on work, and so on.
What are some of the unique stories that you heard?
Oh, I've had things where people's lives were saved.
Wow.
I had one lady in the Midwest in the United States tell me that she had recently moved out in the country, and she was there with her kids, a couple of kids, and suddenly there was a tornado bearing down on them. And so she grabbed them up, and as she ran for the cellar, she requested the benevolent outcome because it was headed right for them. And the tornado lifted off the ground and went over their house. Another one, a lady in Seattle, she and her partner had just purchased a new TV, and their roommate set it up for them, and they had just sat down to watch the TV, and suddenly they heard this loud crash in the door downstairs, and they went to look, and it was two masked guys that were doing a home invasion, and they pistol whipped him and kicked her on the floor, and she was requesting benevolent outcome, and suddenly they ran out the door, and it turned out that their roommate had run next door with a couple of knives in his skivvies, and they wouldn't let him in the door, but they called police, and she called it the 60-second home invasion, because the only thing they took was a billfold with only an ID and nothing else.
My heavens.
So it gets really interesting. These stories are just amazing.
Hearing all these different stories, how can you doubt it? How do you deal with skepticism?
It's just their path. It's quite understandable. I'm skeptic of a lot of things that, I have to really delve into before, and it's healthy to be skeptic, because there's a lot of con artists and,
yes,
scam artists and people that are doing things because they want their 15 minutes of fame and want you to buy something, or $2,000 or $3,000 of this or whatever. And it's good to be skeptical. So in this case, I tell people, don't listen to me. Just start requesting benevolent outcomes yourself and see if it works for you. And really, in 98 or 99% of the people, it works. And the 1% that come back to me, I've asked about, and it's because one of the benefits of requesting benevolent outcomes is that it keeps you on your soul path. And the soul path, a lot of people have a misunderstanding of that. Your soul path is what you decided that would be the very best life you could possibly have, and you want to lead the life. But a lot of times, because we are veiled and we have free choice, we can go off the reservation, so to speak. We get off the path. And when you start requesting benevolent outcomes, it pops you back into path, and suddenly you have to go through some challenges that you had not gone through because you'd gotten off the path. And once you get past those catching up with your challenges, then you start leading a normal life with lots of benevolent outcomes.
Is it very hard to start to meditate to the point where you can actually communicate with your angels?
I think it can be difficult if you already meditate. As long as you understand that you only stay in a lighter state, you don't go into sort of a somnambulistic. I'm sorry, whatever that word is. You don't go into that deep state. Then all you have to do is say, "I wish to talk to my guardian angel," and you'll hear what's a thought packet, and the thought packet will come back and say, "Well, I'm here for you," whatever your name is. And then you just start asking questions, even though you don't believe. Well, it sounds like I'm thinking. I'm just thinking and saying these thoughts myself. But you get into it, and you start asking questions, and you start receiving answers that you would never have known the answers to, or you thought you knew the answer to, but you're wrong. Okay, and that's how you can tell. For people, go ahead.
I guess that ask and ye shall receive.
Yeah.
You and I have to take our final break, Tom. Please stand by.
Okay.
Exonation Tom T. Moore is our special guest. He's the author of The Gentle Way, a self-guide for those who believe in angels, and his second book, The Gentle Way 2. The story continues. His website, www.thegentleWaybook.com. And Tom and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as the X Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away. Exonation Tom T. Moore is my special guest to this hour. You know what? It's been a great pleasure talking to you, Tom. Congratulations on your two books, The Gentle Way, a self-guide for those who believe in angels, and The Gentle Way 2, the story continues. Is there a difference between an angel and a guardian angel? And here's a question that I love asking people who deal with angels. Are children more sensitive to the presence of an angelic being than adults are?
I'll answer the second question first. Yes, they're much more able to see an angel at an early age because they haven't been on Earth so long that it's a lot of their senses closed down. Okay, and the first question was. Difference in angels and guardian angels.
Yes.
As an example, the angels that take care of benevolent prayers, Theo says there are about 1 million guardian angels, which are these golden light beings. But then the angels that take care of all the prayers that everyone is saying all over the world, there's 1 million of those angels. And I said, well, are they golden light beings too? And he said, no, they're younger angels, or they're younger whole souls. These are, we call them angels, but they're actually whole souls, which means they have great, abilities. But he said they're eager. Okay, that's the way he described them. So there is a difference, but it's more of a difference in age.
Tom, what is the message that you would like people to to have in their hearts after they read your books?
Oh, I would just have to say, you'll find that if you start requesting benevolent outcomes, it will put you on an easier path. You can stay on this hard path that, as Theo calls it, when you come up to a challenge, it's like having to climb over a brick wall, where if you're requesting benevolent outcomes, it's like a speed bump. You don't get rid of the challenges. You just make them easier in your life. So that's what I would hope that people will do, because it'll put you on the path that will start raising your vibrational level, which we haven't had a chance to get into, and raising your awareness. And you really become more spiritual when you start doing this.
Tom, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Continued success, and I look forward to the next time you and I meet here in the X Zone.
Great. Thanks for having me, Rob.
Take care, sir. X Zone Nation, our guest this hour has been Tom T. Moore. His books are entitled The Gentle Way, a Self-Guide for Those Who Believe in Angels, and The Gentle Way 2, The Story Continues. His website, www.thegentleWaybook.com. I'll be back on the other side of the news at 6.5 minutes past the hour as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our studios here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, in a place that we call the X Zone. Don't go away.